know that Devin and Ryan made a bet, $500,000 a pound for every pound he came in overweight. Did he pay?
Man, they got in the back and started talking about not 5. They went down to 2. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of time, so it was like 200,000 a pound.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I said, okay, to 2. And then I said, okay, with 2 points on the deal.
Right.
So that was 2 extra points, percentage points. So it's 600,000 plus 2 points.
Gotcha. So, but did he end up paying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear.
You see, the problem with the lie is if you lie once, you'll lie twice. What's going to stop you? And those lies tend to grow wings and fly. And the moment your question begets more lies. This seems to be the case for the Haneys. So the clip you just seen and heard was Bill Haney, who was a live guest on a podcast. It is what it is. Bill Haney, out of his own mouth, just stated that Ryan Garcia did not pay, was not made to pay $500K per pound. Very good question from Cameron. Killer, Dipset, Jones, all day, freaky. And now enter yet another Haney fib. Now I'm going to break it down right now in this video. Some people are like, oh, what's the big deal? The Haneyacks, they're going to say you're pocket watching. Listen, I don't care how much money Devin Haney has or got. It's not about that. What it is about is integrity. What it is about is principle. At this time, the Haneyacks are down bad. Their world is coming crushing down. And this is because of fabrications and lies that they've instigated, right? So the reason why this is important, Bill Haney is on camera and on audio admitting that Ryan didn't pay $500K per pound. I put it together, but sometimes people need to hear it from my voice. Bill Haney said that they didn't get $500K per pound. It was when it was negotiated and when it was all said and done, it was actually $200K per pound and 2 points on the pay-per-view, which we'll get to in a second. I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but let's do some basic math. Ryan Garcia and Devin did this bet on stage, and they said $500K per pound. Then, after Ryan missed weight by 3.2 pounds, they all stated that Ryan paid and honored the bet of $500K per pound. Exhibit A. You see this tweet from Devin Haney. Says Ryan Garcia honored the $500K per pound. This was at 12:33. The receipts never lie. So the receipts from BOXINGEGO don't lie, but now it is officially proven that the Haneys have lied and fabricated the truth. Why would Devin Haney say that Ryan honored his bet, which we all publicly seen because it was at the press conference, and state to the public that Ryan honored the bet and paid the $500K? Only to find out over a month later from Bill Haney that this wasn't true. And when it came down to it, Ryan didn't pay $500K. He only paid $200K per pound. Let's listen to it yet again.
I know that Devin and Ryan made a bet, $500,000 a pound for every pound he came in overweight. Did he pay?
Man, they got in the back and started talking about not 5. They went down to 2.
They got in the back and said not 5. They went down to 2. But you would have to ask yourself, who is they? Who is they when Bill Haney is the father, trainer, and manager of Devin Haney? So he's passing the buck and saying this mysterious they, but shouldn't Bill Haney have been part of those negotiations? Let's listen again.
Started talking about.
I know that Devin and Ryan made a bet, $500,000 a pound for every pound he came in overweight. Did he pay?
Man, they got in the back and started talking about not 5. They went down to 2. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of time, so it was like 200,000 a pound.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Backing off the block, it wasn't that much time. Who cares? 500K is 500K. You said that he had to pay 500K. He told the public he would pay 500K. And now you're talking about backing off the block, saying, oh, we were running out of time and yada, yada, yada. Shouldn't you make Ryan honor his bet?
And overweight. Did he pay?
Man, they got in the back and started talking about not 5. They went down to 2. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of time, so it was like 200,000 a pound.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I said, okay, to 2. And then I said, okay, well, 2 points on the deal.
Right.
So that was 2 extra points, percentage points. So it's 600,000 plus 2 points.
Gotcha. So, but did he end up paying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's my
600,000 plus 2 points.
Gotcha.
So Bill Haney has finally admitted the truth that they didn't get paid 500K per pound. Like, further than that, like, let's really unpack what I'm saying here, people. So you ran around telling the public that he got $1.5 million, basically, right? Devin tweeted this out. Ryan honored the 500K per pound. So this is yet another tweet from Devin Haney that has been proven to be false. This is the problem that I have with Team Haney. Why lie? If he said 500K and the next day came around, he missed weight by 3 pounds, that's 500K times 3. You should be getting 1.5 million. But it looks like the Haneys are trying desperately to protect this imagery or look cool or whatever. So they went along with it and said publicly that Ryan honored the bet. Now Devin Haney is talking about De La Hoya owes him money. I don't know what that's about, but Devin Haney is saying that Oscar owes him money and stuff like that. But you said that he honored the bet and paid you 500K. Now, come to find out, when it was said and done, the truth comes out over a month later, you only got $100 more than what he was supposed to pay you per losing 1 pound, because it was supposed to be 500K per pound. So being 1 pound over, he should have paid you 500K, and you only got 600K. You only got 600K. So that's only $100 more than the penalty that he publicly agreed to. So Ryan Garcia has effectively finessed out of the Haneys. The Haneys, like Bill Haney says he's from Oakland and he's a Bay Area, one of them ones. He a Bay Area hustler, but he got hustled by some kid from Victorville. You let him come in overweight, not let him, like as in they made Ryan Garcia come in overweight. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you allowed it and continued the fight. Right then and there, him being over by such an amount, 3.2 pounds, should have been cause for concern, at least in my world, if I was training Devin. Like, hold on, this guy is a little bit bigger than Devin Haney height-wise. Reach is within 1 inch. Devin hasn't fought anybody really his size with the attributes of Ryan. Ryan has 3 wins out of 6 when they were kids as amateurs fighting. I don't like this fight no more. They even had Arnold Barboza attached to this card as the co-feature in the event that Ryan, who was doing all sorts of things, in the event that Ryan Garcia tested positive, pulled out the fight, any slew of different things and scenarios that could possibly happen. They had an understudy right here on the card. You didn't utilize that. Now, the same people are complaining about the weight still. And for me, that didn't make sense. To complain that a banned substance is in your opponent's system, I totally understand, because no one should have Ostarine or any banned substance in their system that is not naturally occurring in synthetic or whatever SARMs. So I would get that, and I told you that. I understand being angry at that, because doing drugs and being on drugs, that is inexcusable. However, the Haneys decided to play it how they wanted to play it, and they still are griping about the weight. For anyone who would listen, they even wrote and pinned, or their attorney did, an 8-page letter to the commission, and is still referencing the weight. Now, when we find out how badly they got finessed, it's starting to make more sense. Ryan missed weight, told the world he would pay $500K as a penalty, and you didn't even hold him to that.
$500,000. $500,000. How much? Bet.
Right.
Hey, so whoever come overweight pay $500,000?
100%.
Okay, that's a bet.
I'm not gonna come out of weight.
Whoever come overweight pay $500,000.
His dad said no.
Oh, he just bet.
It's a bet. It's a bet. It's a bet. It's a bet. It's a bet. It's a bet.
No, 500, 500,000 per pound. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Whatever you say, Dad. I got you.
Hey, Ryan, let's do 500,000 per pound.
Okay.
Let's do it. Shake on it.
Yeah.
Now that's professionalism.
$500,000.
And you notice at the end, Bill Haney says, now that's professionalism.
Now that's professionalism.
But it wasn't professionalism, because this verbal handshake with no paperwork in the state of New York is not guaranteed to be legally binding. So when Ryan, the later that week on fight week, missed weight by an egregious amount, you couldn't hold him to the 3 pounds in time. Like it would be like a legal proceeding. So what did you do? You renegotiated, and you let Ryan, who was always in the driver's seat, stay and remain in the driver's seat. Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. Now, the other reason why this is very alarming is because, one, the way I look at it is, if someone's going to lie to you about one thing, why would they not lie to you about another? Like I said at the beginning of this particular video. Beyond that is, this shoots down the statements from Bill Haney particularly, but Team Haney, that were previously made that Devin was in the driver's seat. They made statements like, the Floyd Mayweather era is over. The Tank Davis, Gervonta Davis era is over. Devin's the new face of boxing. Is this moving like the new face of boxing? You allowed Ryan Garcia to make more money than Devin in this fight, confirmed by Devin and Bill. They said Ryan got the lion's share of the money. Devin was the champion. Ryan has never been a champion, but somehow Ryan, because he has the stats with Tank particularly, he was in the driver's seat and he held the cards. But the Haneys, they want to campaign and still push this line and this notion that Devin is the face of boxing. The face of boxing would never concede to a Ryan Garcia. Gervonta Davis sure didn't, but you were chasing Gervonta Davis. And in doing so, you made several mistakes. No rematch clause, no rehydration clause. The 500K bet, not putting the 500K bet in the actual contract, in written form, so you could actually hold Ryan Garcia to it when he would eventually come overweight by 3 pounds. And now only to admit that you lied and said that Ryan honored the bet and paid the 500K per pound when he didn't. Only to come out to find out he paid basically what he would have paid for missing 1 pound to miss 3 pounds. Now you can understand why the Haneys are so upset of how the whole night played out. Devin's stock dropped. He got dropped multiple times. The fight should have been stopped. They didn't get the money that they were supposed to get based on the verbal contract with the 500K. And another reason I got to make this video is because I told you a lot of the Haney's lie and bring in a false narrative and very toxic energy in the sport of boxing. I remember when this went on, and mind you, I was going to make this video before because Henry Garcia did an interview and he already stated that they didn't pay the Haneys the 1.5 million. He said, to keep it real with you, we didn't pay that. It was more like 600,000. I didn't make the video because other stuff came up with this particular fight, and there were some people who were skeptical of Ryan Garcia's dad. They were saying like, oh, how could we trust him? And the information was mostly coming from his side. But now that it's been confirmed by the Haneys, I've played it multiple times in this video, that they didn't get the 1.5. Now you got to put some respect on Henry's name. He was clearly keeping it real. Furthermore, here's another example of what I'm talking about when it comes to toxicity in the world of boxing. I told you, these young boys can't beat me. Best in the business, and it's not even close. Dan Rafael was another reporter who received, he's a boxing reporter, he received a lot of flack for reporting the information that he had, which stipulated that Devin Haney did not get the $1.5 million as penalty money. Check it out. Al Bernstein said, well, Ryan Garcia is 3 pounds heavier than he was supposed to be, but his wallet is $1.5 million lighter. Dan Rayfield responded, the 1.5 million is not true. Regardless of what they say, I wrote about this in my story. Dan Rayfield also had separate tweets where he wrote, Ryan didn't cash out the 1.5 million to Devin for the missed weight. People in the comment section were saying he was a flipping liar, and they're like, oh, Devin already said it, you're wrong, your information's bad, because this is what Dan Rayfield put in his story. It says, Bill Haney, Devin's father, trainer, and manager, made a deal with Team Garcia for the fight to go forward. So, again, you can see why this looks so bad. Bill Haney, the manager, trainer. But when we listen to that clip, he said they got in the back. Hold on, we're going to listen again. Y'all going to get this work.
$500,000. $500,000.
I know that Devin and Ryan made a bet, $500,000 a pound for every pound he came in overweight. Did he pay?
Man, they got in the back and started talking about not 5. They went down to 2. Back and started talking about. Man, they got in the back and started.
Did he pay?
Man, they got in the back and started talking about not 5. They went down to 2. Man, they got in the back and started.
Who is they? He said, man, they got in the back and they started talking about 200K per pound. No accountability. But the person who was right from the beginning, Dan Rayfield, says, Bill Haney, Devin's father, trainer, and manager, then made a deal with Team Ryan Garcia for the fight to go forward. That agreement calls for Garcia to pay Haney $600K out of his purse plus 2% of whatever profit he may derive from the pay-per-view, which is now what he's admitted on the podcast, Bill Haney. If it reaches a predetermined number of buys. Multiple sources with direct knowledge of the agreement told Dan Rayfield's Fight Freaks United. Although they publicly agreed to $500K per pound penalty the previous day, and both said it remained in effect in social media posts, it is simply not the case, the sources said, and that they are keeping up the appearance of the $500,000 per pound penalty as one of the terms of the amended contract. Golden Boy also issued false statements. So they kept this lure going on that Devin Haney was getting $500K, and then that was an outright lie. Dan Rayfield, you guys owe him an apology as well, and Boxing Ego, because Devin Haney posted Ryan honored the $500K per pound, you didn't believe what was being said, so you called Dan Rayfield a liar. This is true classic Haney-act behavior. As for Bill Haney, he's talking to Cameron and Mace, and he's saying they went in the back. Man, they went in the back and they tried to switch it to $200K. You're the father, you're the trainer, you're the manager. Who is they? The only other person you brought along was Eddie Hearn, and he was just like a second set of eyes. So Bill Haney did this. You agreed, you took the $200K plus 2 deal points on the pay-per-view or whatever. But as Dan Rayfield eloquently wrote, is that doesn't matter if you didn't reach whatever threshold. So I'm not really concerned with the percentage point. Regis Prograis did a fight with Devin Haney, and he said he don't know what the pay-per-view numbers did because he didn't get any back-end money, basically. So that you can't bank on back-end money unless you're Gervonta Davis or Canelo in a good fight or Floyd Mayweather. So who knows what that 2 deal points is worth. So you got to make sure you get what you get with the flat fee, since you don't know how much the pay-per-view will sell. So you got $600K instead of the 500 pounds. Again, you got to ask yourself, why did Devin Haney lie? Why did Devin Haney tweet that and go along with it knowing that wasn't the case? What's the point of that? Why would you allow Ryan Garcia to finesse you this bad throughout the entirety of this fight? Acted crazy, antics, said he was drinking beer on the stage, said he would give you $500K, and you're supposed to be the face of boxing, but then you let him slide with a lot less and only got $600K in total, which is almost how much he should have paid for 1 pound being 1 pound overage. The Haney Acts got a lot of questions after this. They got a lot of questions. And then there's no accountability, like I said. Bill Haney's making it sound like some extraterrestrial came down and negotiated on behalf of the Haneys. You're the manager. And this is what I told you. Devin is employing his father, and his father is trying his best to get things done. But now it's looking like he's out of his league because there's a lot of missteps when it came to this fight and how the fight was handled. That's just the cold hard truth. Haney acts you down bad.